Oh, that's me. That's me. I hate that music.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? What's going on? You're in there, Ma.
Yeah, well, since they changed the thing where you can't mute until the show starts, Mom kind of forgets. And then I realize I'm getting all that terrible feedback. I'm sorry.
You gotta be ready. You gotta have your finger ready, locked and loaded. Hey, everybody, it's selling past their expiration date. Being thrifty over 50. It is Sunday. We're gonna talk vintage. We're gonna talk retro. We're gonna talk MCM. We're gonna talk antique, and we're gonna talk a little bit of tiki. But first, whoops, I'm on the wrong.
You forgot to say who you are and who I am.
Oh, hey, I'm Jay.
I'm Peg.
That's my mommy. And hey, we want to wish every mother out there a happy Mother's Day. Now, that is just not traditional mothers like my mommy is. If you're a mother of a fur baby, or if you're a dad who's filling in the mother place because there isn't a mama there, happy Mother's Day to you too.
Absolutely. To everybody that has that role.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I wonder how I made it through my early years as a mother. Someone gave me a lot of gray hairs that you can't see. Who could that be? Anybody you know?
Funny you should mention that. Oops. Where'd it go?
What'd we lose?
I saw this today, and I thought that was apropos.
Yes, that was really nice.
No, you missed it. Read this one. This is a different one.
Oh, I got. Oh. Okay, all Mom's. I'm sure that's true too.
All right, so we didn't plan this, but I'll put you on the spot. Give us a quick. What's one of the dumb things I did that you were like, ugh? Well,
the one that always comes to mind. Well, I got two.
Uh-huh.
The one that threw me for a loop was the morning you came down in the jeans with 1,000 safety pins attached to your jeans. I said, that's the one time I made you go back upstairs and change your clothes, but you probably took them to school and put them on anyways. I don't know. So then the other one was when you got in the fight in the park, and the ranger came along and you got arrested for hitting the guy.
All right.
Those two come to mind real quick.
Yeah. All right, moms in the chat. Have you ever had to pick your kid up from being arrested? Because my mommy had to pick me up.
Yeah. Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember the one.
So, mommies, did you have to do that? Where was your kid a hellion? I will say it's all my father's fault because every time I got in trouble in high school, I would hear this. Oh, you're Regan's boy. See,
that's true.
I was doomed.
That is so true. Mom's a goody two shoes, and we're getting feedback. I can hear it, Jason. Do I need to?
I don't hear anything. Anyone else hear feedback?
Anybody hearing feedback? It went away. No, I heard it.
And then I saw this today too. All moms gave birth to a child except my mom. She gave birth to a legend. High five.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. I'm hearing it though, Jace. I am hearing it.
You got headphones there, my mom?
I got them.
All right. All right. So here's what we're talking about when mom's getting her headphones on. Here's what we're talking about today. The misuse of terms. Look, the reason we're talking about it is because no matter what platform, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark, if you are misusing terms and the buyer's trying to find the item, it's very exacerbating when you go to look for something and something comes up and it's not right because someone misused a term, and it turns buyers off. It scares buyers away. And there is, and this is not the show where I talk about this, but there is a fine line you can walk where you can get the other eyes on it without lying. But when you don't understand what the terms actually mean, it's really frustrating. Now, if you ever looked at a double XL men's t-shirt, a lot of times it'll say XXL and then it'll be written in French after it. So it's the same thing, just in French. I think it says something like TTG. And so a lot of sellers who are unfamiliar with big and tall sizes, they skip the slash and they write 2XLT. Now, 2XLT is a way different size than 2XL. I wear 2XLT. I do not wear 2XL. So I can't tell you how many times I have bought a 2XLT shirt on eBay and a 2XL shows up at my house.
Yeah, not the same.
Now, two things would have solved that if you'd pay attention and know your terms. And B, they obviously didn't have a picture of the size tag, because once I see the size tag, I know I'm not buying from this person. They just don't know what they're talking about. So that's why we're talking about retro, vintage, MCM, which is mid-century modern, and antique.
And I have right off the top of the thing, I know I am guilty of doing this. I've learned so much in doing the research for our show today that I got to go in and change some of my titles because I know they're wrong. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Should we mention this picture? In this picture, one item is vintage, one item is retro. Can you tell
They
which
are
is which?
not the same thing. Vintage and retro are two different words. And I know by the end of this, at least half you're going to raise your hand and go, oh, I'm doing it wrong.
Yep. I know. I know we are. I'm sure we all are. I mean, do you want me to say which is which here, Jace, or do you want
go ahead,
to...
and then we'll hop into it.
All right. In this picture, the little girl is wearing a vintage dress. It is an older item. The toy is a retro item because it is a new toy made to look old. And that's kind of where the definition comes in, you guys. So that's where you got to be careful.
All right. So let's talk.
Okay.
There really wasn't a category here because basically this is the people who use both vintage and retro. So we're going to get to what those things mean in a second.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd show these first because let me tell you, it can't be vintage and retro. That's like if you're going down a road and it ends and it goes right or left, you can only go one way. That's the same thing. You can't go left and right. You can either go left, you can either go right. Now,
I know.
So here's vintage man cave garage metal tin sign decor retro.
Retro, yeah.
So they use vintage and retro.
Mm-hmm.
Here is newest Casio retro vintage watch.
I mean, some of these just blew my mind.
Here is oversized vintage retro sunglasses, and those are badass.
Yeah, they were. That's why I pulled that one up.
Brand new retro vintage jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead a second, then we'll come back. There is never a point where both those things are gonna be in your title. Ever.
No.
Ever.
Mm-mm.
Ever.
That is
unbranded so vintage cloth, yellow, orange, floral, cotton, everyday napkins, retro. So let me tell you, the first 4 things I showed are all retro. This one is actually vintage.
Actually vintage, correct. If she'd left the word retro off at the end, she would have been fine. You know.
I want to see the tag on this. Hey, come on. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, what's going on there?
There we go. Okay, so this one has swimsuits, vintage swimsuit trunks retro.
Mm-hmm.
And vintage 80s retro ski wear. And man, some of these titles we got coming up, Mom, they need help on their titles. They all should be
board. Yeah, that was another reason why I pulled these, because I was, oh my gosh, their titles are horrifying.
Retro / vintage. They got a couple slashes, a lot of dashes, and periods. Get rid of all that.
Hyphens.
I'll tell you right now, anything from Old Navy ain't nothing vintage.
That's why I put that one in there. I said, oh, this is so bad.
All right. So let's talk vintage first. And here's the definition of vintage. The traditional is of wine based on the year, but of old, recognized, and enduring interest and important quality, number 3, dating from the past. That is vintage.
Right.
And the vintage, technically by Etsy standards, and kind of been the adopted standards, is 20 years or more.
Yeah. Now, according to my research, Jason, I did say that it says vintage is something classic made a long time ago, and they say 40 plus years.
Yeah. Etsy set the rule at 20, which is just someone making it up. It's not really based on anything.
Right.
So, so I can see an argument for the 40 for sure. But we're almost in the 2020s. And so, because you said something coming up here is 1990s isn't vintage. Well, that's 30 years ago. Right.
Well, right. Exactly. I'm looking at a little bit longer than that. Yeah.
All right. So these are actually vintage Simplicity Crafts sewing patterns and buttons and stuff. So they did not use retro. Yay. They use vintage because it is just vintage. All right, so now, and you're going to get some bonus tips from Peg and I about titles.
Oh, this is so, I mean, and that's why I pick these, everyone, because she's correct on the vintage, but what about the rest of the item? I mean,
look how many pieces of clothing are here, but on the first picture, it's just one dress.
I know. I mean, she's got bonnets in there, and what else did I say? I forget.
Well, there's multiple dresses. There's 4 or 5 dresses, and then there's little hangers and bonnets and socks. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff here. It is vintage, but yes, your first picture should be a grouping of all of them.
Right.
And way more words than 4 in your title.
Absolutely. I mean,
we're going to have just 4.
I mean, if she sells it, it'd be by the picture. That would be it, as far as I can see.
Now, this one's even better. I thought the last one was hilarious. Lot of vintage items! Exclamation point! Ping.
I mean, I was having a ball picking them out. I could have added thousands. Trust me. When I was going through them, I said, "Where do I cut this off on our presentation?" Because there were so many bad ones. So many.
And wait for it, in case you haven't noticed the price.
Yes, that was another reason I put it in.
$800 for this little collection of stuff on their coffee table.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're not really here to bash these sellers.
No, we're not.
But they just happen to be the examples we found that. Well, this one's using the right term, but yeah, their title needs help, and 800. Yes. I don't see what's $800 in this list.
I mean, the only thing. I mean, look at that title. The only thing they've got going for them is vintage, and they talk about nothing else that they could.
And then here's the whole description.
Yeah.
Now they're wonderful vintage items. They're so wonderful.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. All
right, so this is a real good one.
Yes, this was, except for the all caps and the hyphens and.
Right. But I'm saying it is actually vintage stuff.
Yes.
And nice picture. They use their whole title, but get rid of the punctuation and get rid of the all caps. But I like it because they made the picture square. They took their 4 items.
Yes, they did.
They made it a nice square. So your opening shot, boom, and then go into your other stuff. I love it.
Yeah,
but they did use vintage correctly.
Good.
And then beautiful vintage dress size 4. Well, it's from Regency. At least get
the brand in.
Yeah, but it is a vintage dress, so proper use. But holy cow, $11.20 shipping for this dress that weighs about 7-8 ounces.
Yeah, exactly. That's a first class deal all the way.
See, all these things we talk about today: the shipping, the title, the pictures, the wrong terms. We only exist because we have buyers. If you annoy the buyers by having too high a shipping, by not using the right terms, they go away. They do. I get frustrated and leave places because things aren't accurate.
Jason, on this one, show the first picture for this. I don't think that's it.
That's it.
Oh, was it it?
Yep.
Okay. I must have been looking at something else then.
But yeah, so it is a vintage velvet wedding gown. But yeah, obviously there's a lot more. Look, it's beaded. I mean, these are the things you definitely want in the title.
Right.
And there's got to be some size. Look, and here's the tip: if you're doing vintage clothing that either A has a vintage size or B has no size at all, you got to hold it up to yourself, your spouse, your kid,
something,
other modern items you have, because no one's going to look at this, because anything in clothing needs to have a jumping off point as a size. Got to. You just got to.
Oh, I know.
All right, what's next in the vintage realm? Ooh, this is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is where you said, well, 90s. Well, yeah, 90s is 30 years old now.
Well,
so it's between the 40 that you read and the 20 that Etsy said. So, yeah, and 90s are hot. 90s stuff is hot right now. So, yeah, I would call early 90s vintage at this point.
All right, well, then I will adjust my my years,
But this is a cool Betsy dress.
Yeah, I thought that was cute. Very nice.
And our last vintage one is this dress right here.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting how did she hang it in the bushes, or where is she? I'm not too sure.
And the thing that would drive me nuts is look how cockeyed it is on the hanger.
Yeah.
At least get it straight. I don't so much mind the bush, but get it straight. It looks like it's kind of. All right, so that is vintage. So now we're talk retro, and retro is imaginative of style, fashion, or design from recent past. Clothes or music whose style or design is imaginative of those recent past. So basically, bottom line, vintage is old. Retro is something new made to look old.
Right. things that they're being like the Fisher Price toys. The early vintage ones, were one thing, but all the remakes are retro.
Yeah, as I was telling my mom the other day, I have this little chair that holds my phone on my desk, and it kind of looks like an Eames era chair. This would definitely be a retro because it's brand new, but it looks like an old chair. So it can't be retro and vintage. So if we go back to these ones that we first showed you, this Casio cannot be old and new to look old. This can't be. So this is where buyers get just exhausted. Right. I want an old Casio. I want a vintage Casio. This is not a vintage Casio.
Right. Now, here's a good quote in regards to retro, Jace. I like this. It says, someone once told me that you could describe a vintage item as retro, but never a retro item as vintage. That's a good one to remember.
And Christine in chat just said retro equals Urban Outfitter clothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So mom found this Budweiser bowling shirt, which is brand new, but yeah, definitely has that vintage feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is a perfect example. When I saw this one, this dress is modern, but definitely harkens back to like late 60s, early 70s. Flower power, I can picture go-go boots on this woman with this dress.
Exactly.
She needs a few more pictures since she has one.
Oh yeah, yes, and that was one of the reasons I showed that too.
See, they're all and see this is if you're still doing this. She has them in her description. A, it takes longer to load on mobile, and B, some people never get to the description. So when they look at this first the pictures up here,
you
gotta have all the pictures up there.
Yep.
All right. So what's next here?
Okay, what do we got?
Oh, I like this.
Oh yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. I mean, definitely it's a new shirt, but made to look old. What came back from the 80s, so definitely retro.
Yep, and you can tell it's new by the printed on label.
Yep.
All right, what do we got?
Let's see what we got. What do we got? I sent you so much, I don't even remember. Oh, this is the one with the first picture.
Yeah.
No,
a little too close.
Yeah, just a tad. I mean, because you don't know what you're actually looking at for starters, But now, Jason, you see, here's the used retro tribal bark. But is that new? Is that look new to you?
Yeah, I was looking at that tag.
Yeah,
I don't know that tag very well.
I didn't either.
So if they would have had a picture of the size tag.
Oh, that
would be a little more giveaway. But since they don't have that, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, this could be retro. But then again, it could be an older one.
I can't answer by the lack of information they gave me.
Yeah.
A lot. Okay.
All
right. So now, when you look up MCM, if you just Googled MCM, it does not mean Man Crush Monday in our world. But when I Googled MCM, the first 2 pages were all Man Crush Monday. So I can understand how sometimes when people are new to this, they Google it. They're like, well, I saw MCM, it said Man Crush Monday.
Right. The when I was doing my stuff, they said it's right here, difficult term to define because it broadly describes the architecture, furniture, and graphic design from the middle of the 20th century, roughly 1933 to 1965. Though some would argue the period is specifically limited to 1947 to 57. So there again, you've got, some 2 different views. So it just depends.
But it's still in that vein. So if you got something from
absolutely.
1988, it is not mid-century modern.
Right.
Think Mad Men. Think think Happy Days.
Right. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Anybody watching that?
If anyone watched the Astronaut Wives, which was a great show, only lasted 1 or 2 seasons, that was all just
that was great. Yeah.
MCM eye candy for days. All right, so here's some mid-century modern stuff that really is.
I know. I found some goodies, didn't I, honey? Didn't I find some goodies?
Haywood Wakefield made some amazing furniture that commands big money. So if you find Haywood Wakefield, especially if you find some of like the rattan bamboo furniture for your tiki bar, heck yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't put any of that in. I just thought I'd kind of stick with some of the other kind of pieces.
Yeah, this is cool. The old school faux
Did you
fireplace.
like that?
Yeah.
I know. Oh boy, I would like to own some of these pieces. But look at the money, people. If you're out there shopping,
Yep. Oops.
notice the money that they're getting for these items. I mean, it's big money, good money.
And yeah, this is a mid-century modern Herman Miller chair that needs a lot of love.
Yep. It's in a little rough shape. Yeah.
Little dust, just a little dusty.
Yeah, just a tad.
Little dusty.
Just a tad.
Yeah, and this is another great. So did you guys have one in your house?
Your grandma Smith did.
Okay.
She had one. Yep. Wish we had it. Oh, doggone it. But this, yeah, in case I hope you're all reading the title there. But of course, not all caps should be there. But it was a telephone bench seat, and we had them. My mom didn't have one, but Grandma did. Your Grandma Smith. Oh, yeah. I've sold these kinds in the past. So this is the now here they got vintage MCM, Jason. Now here's what I did notice, everybody, that vintage and MCM kind of can go together.
Yeah, on certain items for sure.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you wouldn't have a vintage '90s Betsy Johnson MCM dress.
No, not at all. But if it is an item that is both in this regard, like the lamps are, I don't see why you can't use both in this one. You can't use the vintage retro, but you can use vintage MCM.
But no one would be mad if they were looking for a vintage lamp or MCM lamp or a vintage, and that came up. That's right.
Right. And then this was the same thing. They were showing this floral napkin set and using both words again.
So they got vintage, they got MCM, they got retro, and they got mod. I'm not talking about mod tonight, but let me tell you, that ain't mod. That is not. Google mod later. Yeah. That ain't mod at all. So they're totally using words that don't even remotely
control. Yeah, come into it. No, they don't, honey. Not
all
at
right.
all.
And then, of course, you got your antiques, which is pretty much everyone that is in my mom's age range.
Yeah, well, close. I mean, it's always been Mom's teaching that an antique had to be 100 years or more old. Some people really fudge on that, and I still say the antique has to be 100 years old plus. All
right, so I almost left this out, but I thought it'd be better as a teaching tool.
Okay.
So you sent me this because A, they use primitive and antique, and B, it looks it, but this is brand new.
I know. I know.
So you knew that. I thought you.
I knew that. Oh, okay. No, I knew that. That's why I sent it. I said, here's what they're passing off as an antique.
Yeah, there ain't no LED lamps that are antiques.
I know. As my mommy says, oh my God.
But they led with primitive and antique,
right?
And vintage and style. See, that's all horseshit.
Right. A lot of them use this antique style, trying to get away, with it because it's not really an antique; it's antique style.
Yep.
So,
Now, would you call these hankies antiques? Because I don't think they're 100 years old. Do you?
No, they're not that old. They are definitely not that old. So that's just misuse again. Vintage, yes. Vintage, yes. Okay, now here you go. These are old, and these date back to the 1800s, usually early 1900s, on beaded bags up to 1920. So I don't think they're, remakes from what I can tell from their pictures. So I would say this is a true antique.
Angela in the chat says someone tried to sell them an antique computer desk.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. This is This is definitely an antique.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
1800s men's top hat.
Yeah. In fact, Mom used to, back in my early days, everyone, I collected nothing but antiques. I really had quite a collection, and I learned everything I know from my mother, who started with it. And we owned one of these top hats, Jason, at one time. That black one, and we had two gray ones.
Now, do you like this as an antique?
No, I don't. I would say this is vintage to Mom. 1930s. I mean, I know,
it's close. I mean, like I said,
close, but
close. And this one, I wouldn't bust anyone's chops. They put an antique and vintage.
Yeah.
And, it's returning an okay result. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, it's close, but borderline for me.
Okay, so quick recommendation: have some better lighting on your item.
Yeah, whoever took that one.
But 1880, that is definitely an antique.
Definitely, yeah, because I'm sure it's dated. That's why they've got it on there. So it's the date is probably right on the
Yep.
Does everybody know what that is? Oh, it says right in the title. Foot measure. I mean, I hate to say that, but Mom used that when she was a kid, when I used to go buy shoes. And we used to put our feet in the machine. They used to take the X-ray of our feet so they could see our feet for some reason. I don't know what that was.
Oh, bonus X-rays going into your body back in the day.
Yeah, we did. It was green. It was green. We could look in the thing and see the green.
Oh yeah, that was good for you.
Oh yeah.
Here, get your face right next to this X-ray green.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely an antique.
Yes, usually antique wooden bowls. If you know antiques, you will know if it's a reproduction or if it's an antique.
You can feel it, and I say that because as Mom said, I grew up in a house of antiques.
Right.
So when you touch a wood antique, as opposed to something like, say, the Amish made last week,
right,
both, great craftsmanship, but you can definitely call modern wood.
Yes.
As opposed to wood that's been sitting around your house for 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, why did you bring this one in? Because of the
picture. Yes.
So I bring this up and I'm like, what are they selling in this?
I know.
They're selling this, but they have all this extra fluff around it. Like, what?
I mean, because what they have there is a great antique wooden dough bowl. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. But I said, what in the world? And another thing on antiques, everyone, if the old paint, like in this picture, is still on the item, do not take it off. The value is in the old paint.
So we had I forget where we had picked it up, but we had an antique or almost antique mantle clock that my dad decided to clean. And whatever clean solution he used, he put it on the rag. And as he wiped it, as he came around the circle, he noticed all the numbers were now gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Don't clean your antique, especially if you're going to sell.
You got to be very, very careful with antiques because you don't want to ruin what's really there. Okay.
So we have talked about Witco. If you've watched my Tiki webinars, if you've listened or paid attention at all for a little while, Witco was a company that did these large carved wood pieces, sometimes self-standing tikis, sometimes pieces of art like this ship. Mom and I both have a ton of Witco in our house, but people think any carved wood that looks like this is Witco, and that's just not the case. So this right in front of you is actual Witco. This is actual Witco. This is one of the most desirable pieces called the world map or the globe. I've got one hanging up. As you can see, this one sold for $2,000. I got mine for $600. So if you ever see this piece, snag it.
Snag it for sure, even if it's a few $100s.
And then this is Witco too. And if you watch Two Dogs Dig, Good Dog, Bad Dog, Craig and Rick, they just found one of these for $30.
Whoa!
That's one sold for $1,000. So these are all Witco. So they have this look to them, and all the artwork was done by chainsaw. It was all done by chainsaw.
Yep.
So people see dark wood carved, and they're like, "Oh, it must be Witco." Okay, this is marked as Witco. This is not even remotely close. Not even remotely. Also says Tiki. It ain't that either.
I mean, you almost need to send those people a private message and say, please don't use that word with that awful looking thing.
Okay, so again, we have just two large faces, and it's chainsaw art. No chainsaw can make all these fine little lines. No. And A, these aren't Tiki. B, they're not Witco. They would be century modern, though.
Yes, that you could pass it.
They got one term right.
But look at the way they did the MCM. That was bad.
Yeah. Again, same thing. There is no carving to this. You know what I'm saying? There isn't.
Smooth.
So it's smooth, right? So not Witco at all. If you spend 2 seconds looking at Witco, you'll know it ain't smooth. Oops, that was my search screen. Okay, so now we're just going to go generic tikis. Here's the tiki. Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen tikis hanging around. Listen to me. Here's another type of tiki. Here is here's another type of tiki. So these are all actual tikis. They're all good listings. And then here's my last example of a tiki. Great. All right, here's things that aren't tikis. This is Mayan or Incan. I always forget which one, but everyone thinks this is a tiki. Tiki is Polynesia. Mayan and Incan is Central America.
Right.
Not tiki at all. There ain't nothing tiki in Hindu.
No.
They use a lot of words. Hindu, dragon, tiki, eagle, Buddha. They're just going to throw a shit ton of words and hope one of them sticks in your brain. Okay.
Oh my.
Nothing tiki about this. It's wood. It's vampire zombie tiki. There is no such thing.
I suppose people put these all the words in their titles, even though that's not what the item is, just to lure people into their
Right,
site.
and that's what
Yeah,
angers buyers. So
exactly.
just because it's a carved wood face, this is not anything at all a tiki. Not at all.
Right.
What happened to this picture here?
Whoa.
It's like they had an old school camera, when the film starts to run out, you have that like bleed. And
Oh
then
my.
last but not least, this is an African or Rastafarian man. It ain't a tiki.
You sure it's not Bob Marley?
It could be. I say it could be Rastafarian man.
Yeah,
But it ain't tiki.
could be.
This would be Africa or Caribbean. And
Yep.
again, tiki is Polynesian.
Yes. Good stuff. Very good stuff.
Christine said, "Oh my God, vampire zombie tiki. I want it." All right. So, the goal of this show is to use the terms properly. So so the buyers have a good buyer experience. The more good buyer experiences they have, they're happy the buyers are, the longer they stay on the platform, the more they buy from me, from mom, from you, and you, and you, and you.
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
you.
Like I say, I've got some homework to do because I know I've got to go in there. I'm sure I use retro and vintage in the same title, so I've got to go fix my things.
All right, so Mama's Boy, time for Mama's Boy. Each week we share cute and or embarrassing photos of us, and we got a couple good ones for you this week, being Mother's Day and all. Okay, so here I am with my brother and sister and my grandmother, Mom's mom, and I'm like 6.5 here, and I'm almost as tall as my grandmother.
Yeah, look at that.
Do you remember how tall Nana was?
Nana was only about 5'3", 5'4", Jace.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm 6.5, and I'm almost there. But I really wanted to show this picture for 3 reasons. I used to hate flip flops, but apparently I wore them when I was a kid.
Yep.
I'm rocking some jorts, some jean shorts.
Yes.
And Mom let me wear beer T-shirts. You can't really tell, but that's a Pabst Blue Ribbon T-shirt.
And what is my mother holding on her arm?
The purse that even Stacy said, "Oh, is that an Easter basket?"
That is a very, very expensive purse now. I mean, when she bought it, it was expensive. Now it's worth tons and tons of money. Do you want me to ask the chat, or do you want me to tell
yeah.
her? What? Ask the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, those of you in the chat. Oh, Angela Ritchie, I think you're on it.
Where is it?
She's got the first word. How about the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is an Nantucket purse. And there are reproductions of those as well, you guys. Retro. So you got to be careful. But if you come across an original, and they're all signed by the artist, a lot of them have, well, they probably don't anymore, but the early ones, Jason, had the ivory on the top of their baskets, and made into like whales or whale bones or different things. So
Scrimshaw, if you will.
Right? Scrimshaw, thank you. I couldn't get the word out. But they can't use that anymore. So the early ones are. My mom's purse now, I think she paid back in the day around $800. It's now worth probably between $3,000 and $5,000.
Wow. Can you imagine nowadays you let your 7-year-old kid wear a Pabst Blue Ribbon T-shirt? This wouldn't happen. My mom let me wear beer T-shirts and beer can hats. I went to Disney World wearing like a whole gear of beer.
You did. Yes, you did.
All right, now it's time for That's My Mama. And in honor of Mother's Day, I want to share with you my saddle shoes.
Yes, when I saw this, I said, I got to get the shoes. Of course, Bob's got one of those awful headband type backs that I used to wear. Short shorts. This, Jason, this is July of 1974, by the way. And as you can see, we're at Niagara Falls. And
I'm 3 years old, and I'm 3/4 as tall as you already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very close.
And pretty much from your knee to your head. So.
Yeah. But I love the shoes. That was the main reason.
Look at your nautical little short shorts, Ma.
Oh yeah, you like those?
Wear short shorts.
And the halter top. I mean, I'm surprised I even wore this out there in Niagara Falls. I mean, that's kind of a beer thing. You know what I mean? To be wearing. I know, around people. Oh my goodness.
And for those of you who have never seen me before as a kid, look at all my hair.
Yeah, Jason had a lot. Jason's hair was as thick as mine is today. I don't know what happened. It was all the blue dye you put in yours, I guess.
No, I don't think that's how quite it works.
Oh. Okay. Sounds good. Makes for a good story.
All right, let's get to your scores, shall we?
All right. Looks like we have a visitor. Ding ding.
Yes.
So my very first score that we're going to be talking about are my Silver Tab Levi's that we found, and we purchased those for $5 and sold them. I did take a best offer of $35 on those.
Nice.
Nice. And if you want to learn more about jeans, guess what?
Hey, we got a little visitor. Like, you remember the old days in the Tonight Show when stars would just pop in the middle of the show? Hey, Joy Williams, how are you?
I'm good. I thought I heard Mama Peggy say down.
Yes, I did.
So I had to pop in.
So Joy's down in Tucson, which is having some crazy ass storms right now. So if Joy goes a little quiet, it's because storms are wreaking havoc all across Tucson right now. But Joy wants to tell us a little bit about something fun that's happening tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow, Joy?
So I don't know if you've heard, but tomorrow night I'm having a web class, how to make big money selling dumb. And it is going to be a great time. It is at 9 o'clock on the East Coast and 6 o'clock Pacific. If you go to my website, jeanswithjoy.com, to register, you must pre-register. It is free, but you have to be registered. And if you're watching live, then you are going to be eligible to win some great prizes. I'm going to give away a gift cards. Right? Who doesn't love a gift card, right? You can fill your cart with color. So I'm also giving away a very exciting ticket to Jason's thrift class on steroids in July, where I will be one of the teachers. I will be teaching my denim class live in the thrift store. And that ticket is valued at $150. So you absolutely want to tune in live for that. And then I have a super secret grand prize worth over $340. And I'm really excited, and I hope that you will all register and join me tomorrow night.
Yay, Joy.
So just to expand on that a little bit, if you're coming to, if you're coming to eBay Open, or if you're not coming to eBay Open, if you're in the Vegas area or want to come, because I know a few friends are coming who aren't actually going to eBay Open. Here is the list of events that week surrounding eBay Open. So Sunday, we started the Double Down Saloon for an ass juice party. It is way yummier than it sounds. That's the whole point. Monday, for those of you in the Secret Beach, I have just hired a new band. Unfortunately, Franks and Deans are going to be on tour during our party. But fortunately, the replacement is so good. We went and saw them Saturday night. It will blow you away. It's going to be awesome. So that'll be the Secret Beach Bash on Monday. Tuesday, the Tiki Party at Frankie's Tiki Room. For anyone who wants to come, bring your best Hawaiian shirt or muumuu. And fellas, you too can wear a muumuu. Me and two of my guy buddies wore muumuus last year. And it's always fun when you're in the men's John peeing in a urinal and a guy walks in and you're holding your dress up, because it makes for a lot of fun conversations. And then last but not least, what we talked about already, the thrift class on steroids. So if you've not partaken that class in the past and you're coming to eBay Open, what it is I haven't got all of them put together yet, but somewhere between 7 and 10 instructors. We spend a couple hours in a classroom setting where we go give you some seminars, some presentations on different things. Then we spend some time in the by the pound bins, and then we head out into the store and add more instructors. And so as you walk around the biggest thrift store in the country, there's going to be jeans, Joy in the jeans section. You'll find my mom in the dress and the big stuff section. You'll find me in the CDs and record section. You'll find Debbie in the book section. So there'll be instructors all over the class. And as Joy said, if you tune in and watch your free web class tomorrow night, someone's getting a free ticket.
Yay. Very nice. Can't wait, Joy. I'm all signed up, honey.
Go to my website, jeanswithjoy.com, and register. I can't wait to see you guys there. Again, it is free, but you have to pre-register on my website at jeanswithjoy.com.
Now, and if you can't watch live, you can still watch the replay later. You just won't be eligible for the prizes. So if you're working, if you're flying, if you're driving, still register, because you'll get the link to watch it later. So it's still going to be a valuable class to watch at your leisure if you can't make it live. All right?
Ruby.
Well, Joy, thanks for popping in here.
I'm pretty excited.
Tonight's show guest.
It was nice to have a guest.
And tell those storms to get the hell out of there before the class tomorrow night.
I'm excited about the show.
All right, Joey, thank you for popping in, and we will see you tomorrow night on your class.
Bye-bye.
I actually get to sit back for once and watch.
I know. Won't that be fun?
Yay! Whee!
All right, I'll see you then.
Okay.
Bye, Joy.
Bye-bye.
All right, Ma, what else did you sell?
Okay. Well, this wasn't a huge score in money because I had a sale going at the time. But I only bought the darn thing for $1, and they do sell, you guys. I had a lot of watchers on this, but they waited for it to go on sale. I had it up for what, $18.95. But I thought I'd just start out with my smaller item, and I'll build as we go. But when I bought it, your dad said to me, "What the hell you're doing with that?" I said, I'm gonna sell this. I think I showed this on my haul back a few weeks ago. This is the fiber optic barrel cactus light. Use the video, because I was doing so well on my video. So
Ta-da!
yeah, found that for a quarter. That was another quarter item, sold it for $20. That was my video. Not too bad, huh?
Not too bad, because you're about to turn the lights off if I'm not
Yeah. I'm
So
getting better.
Here's a good use of a video of a light. Start in the light and then go to the dark so people can see exactly how it's going to light up their room, or because turning the lights on in a room that's lit up doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot.
No, not at all.
So good job, Mom.
Thank you. Hey, I'm getting better. Takes me a while, but I get there. Hey, look at Mom, another CD. Ozzy Osbourne CD, another quarter item, Jason, and sold it for $22. I took best offer of $22. I thought, oh, that works.
All right. Now, I know I told you the proper term to put in your title, and you didn't do it.
Oh, I didn't do it. You did tell me.
Take good notes especially if I tell anyone about CD or Tiki stuff. Make sure you write it down, because I'm telling you what you need to know. This version, and I have one. I meant to bring it over to show everybody, but I didn't. I forgot. Okay. The front of that is actually like speaker cover.
Right.
And so the CD was also sold as a regular. So this was the special speaker covering CD. And it was a good idea in theory, but because it was so heavy and this was a cardboard opening, here, let me show you right here. So many of them just got ripped because the cover was so heavy. And so if you do find this one, you want to make sure you mention the speaker front cover. And it did come with temporary tattoos. And I did have you check that. They weren't there when you originally got this. But look in the booklet. If you do find the CD, look in the booklet. If the temporary tattoos are still there, definitely want to list that. So look, Ma, you also had a lot of extra space. So what you do, if it was just a regular CD. Hey, where's the picture of the back there, photo guy?
I don't know. That's your dad. He's in charge.
Well, you're in charge. So,
I know.
Fill the rest of your title out with some of the big songs on there.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to do that too. I have some of my others, but
you got to read your notes.
Yeah, I know.
Because this was kind of like a greatest hits kind of deal. It was greatest hits live. So throw in Crazy Train, throw in Mr. Crowley, throw in Bark at the Moon. Right. Because some people don't know what the album's called, but they're like, oh, I like that Bark at the Moon by Ozzy. And then they might stumble across your listing.
All right, I'm putting that back in my notes here. Names of songs. And I've done that before. I just, somehow blew it.
But when you have a CD that has more than one version of it, if you got the cool version, you got to let everyone know you got the cool version. Now, you got the right money for it, but it might have been quicker.
Right.
People have to save searches. And you didn't have that word speaker in your title. So that wouldn't come up in someone's saved search.
Correct.
But good job. That's awesome. Yay, my mom's selling CDs. Finally. What? You sold TV trays.
Oh, my gosh.
It isn't so.
But this is an interesting one. We've had these in our store for quite a while. And all of a sudden, we sold them full price, boom, and paid immediately. And so I said, I just wonder if that's going to be like a movie company or something. So I looked at the title, and a man sent me a note right afterwards. I need these shipped to the Auckland Inn up in Connecticut, I think it was. And I said, oh, they're making a movie. They got to be. So, got them out to them right away immediately. And so I double checked about 4 days later to see if they had gotten there, make sure they had gotten there okay. And my note said they were being held at the post office, that they had sent them a message. So I looked up the name of the inn and got the telephone number and called because I was concerned. And the woman that answered the phone, she knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said, are you making a movie? She said, yes, we are. And she says, the post office here where they're located in Theandra. Oh, it's New York. Theandra, New York is only open 2 hours a day. And so, yeah. And so consequently, they couldn't get away from the movie making at that time to go and pick it up. So I hope they're still going to use them. I don't know, but that's what happened with those. Interesting story, I thought.
So John in the chat said, how do you know if the TV trays are vintage? And a lot of it is the feel of it. You can go, because they do make some TV trays. Look at a modern one and then feel a vintage one, and they're totally different.
Right. I mean, of course, the metal ones I think are all vintage, Jason. I don't even think they've reproduced metal ones at all. They've reproduced some of the wood ones, but I don't think I've seen any metal new ones, any retro metal ones. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
By the way, just as we left Ozzy and moved on to the TV trays, I sold the CD for $24. So,
see, that's it, karma. For sure. So,
I hit the trifecta yesterday on Amazon. I sold a CD, a cassette, and a record.
Oh, did I give prices on the TV trays?
Oh no, how much?
Yeah, I bought them for $3. Everybody sold them for the full asking price of that $69.99. So that was very good. Okay, this is, let's see, really out of my order. Where's my dress? Okay, here we go. Hoku Hawaiian dress. This is a gorgeous dress, everybody. I love this.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, I paid $4 for it. Jason, I took a best offer of $48.
Now, don't forget, Mom, this should be your first photo.
The closer up one?
Yeah, because
I debated on that.
See how skinny that is? You've got to have a picture of that on someone's iPhone 6.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And say they're just going, okay, Hawaiian dress, and they're just scrolling. Right. Yours is going to be very narrow.
Yeah.
If you throw this up there, it fills the picture, and they'll be like,
right.
Woo!
And I went back and forth. I kept trying. I kept debating back and forth. And I said, well, maybe they want to see the whole thing. That was my
that'll be your number 2 picture. But yeah.
Okay. All right. It's good to know.
Wait, you don't have vintage and retro in your title.
No, I don't.
I see vintage in this title. Wait, what? You sold the TV tray. What?
And this is a TV lap tray, everybody. And that one I paid $1 for and sold it for the full price of $22.95.
Nice.
And you guys know I've had very good luck with this. So I hope all of you are out there, when you stumble across these, don't hesitate, because they usually go pretty well.
Was this Dad's idea of like hip hop b-boy? What the hell? I was laughing so hard when this came up.
He did it.
Yo.
This happened to be a freebie that we got in our goodie bag when we did the tiki crawl. And Dad said, no, I probably won't wear the hat. And I don't wear hats. So I said, all right, well, let's see if we can, throw it up there. So we threw it up and we got the full asking price.
If only you had a kid who loved Brugal rum that maybe would have wanted those sunglasses. I don't know. Just saying.
Oh, he's like, you need those.
I love rum. I love these wood sunglasses. They're all the whole new thing.
We might have another pair here. I'll look.
I love Brugal too. It's a good rum.
All right. I think I asked you about the hat, didn't I?
Maybe the hat, but I saw those sunglasses. I'm like, dang, I would have worn those.
And we sold another hockey stick that we paid 75 cents for. Remember, we had a lot of 10 that Dad bought at one time, and so we sold that for asking best offer of 22.
Good job.
So that was good. Yeah, the hockey sticks are going, you guys.
Hey, Mom's selling media left and right. This is getting out of hand.
I know. I bought the 8 tracks for practically nothing. I mean, this is less than a quarter a piece because I bought them for $1, you guys, and sold them for my full asking price. And Dad said to me, he says, we got 8 tracks for sale. I said, well, you took the pictures. Of course, back in my day, you guys, that was the first media for us in the cars, Jace. Were the 8 tracks. Oh, God, Dad and I played ours over and over and over.
All right, so you got in Kiki D, you got in the Mills Brothers, you got in the Letterman, you got in Tony Orlando, but you didn't get in Goldfinger James Bond. Where that should be is in your item specifics.
Oh, yeah, see, Mommy's not doing, I got to do better. Well, I had it down in there. Well,
description does not get searched. Item specifics does.
Yeah.
So I would have added a custom saying, like, other title or something, and then put James Bond Goldfinger too. Gotcha. That's the proper use of jamming more keywords in your title.
Gotcha.
Because you're not lying, you're just getting them in there.
Okay. Well, I'll have to remember this as Mom moves forward. That's for sure. The adding machine, Dad actually bought that for $2 and sold it for full price.
Hey, Chris Brown's in the chat. Hey, Chris. He said your bag had different stuff than ours in the Tiki Crawl. They got no hat or glasses.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
So
I just
apparently, sometimes they do that. Sometimes everything's the same, and sometimes you get the hat, you don't get the hat.
And of course, now that I think about it, we only had one hat, so maybe it just, yeah, maybe just like I said, But yeah, so that was a good sale on the adding machine. Okay, what you got next? Okay, this was a Hilo Hattie, but if you notice the size, everybody, 4XL, which is definitely one of the things that draws people in. I paid $2 for that and sold it for the best offer of $30. I probably could have held out, but I've had it for a little while, so $30 sounds good for a $2 investment. But this one, oh yeah, don't ever pass these up, everyone. Anytime you find the Rand Spooners from the college.
Boo.
I know. My fingers were burning.
Burn it.
But I paid, let's see, where am I? Rand Spooner, I paid $5.50 for this shirt and sold it for the full price of $69.99. They didn't bat an eyelash, you know what I mean? On that.
OH.
I-O. They haven't beat us in a long time. Oh yes, and this was the it's a vintage signed Caro Nan purse, everybody. And I paid $5 for that and sold it for the 45. And
Nice.
when I was doing some research on some of the stuff I'm going to show you guys shortly, there's a lot of those listed. Not a lot, but if you find them, don't pass them up. People do like those.
All right. Speaking of your haul, what you got, Mom?
Oh man. Okay. Where do we start? Okay. I'm going to start. Well, since we're on the purse detail. Oh, well, yesterday, are we going to talk about our thing yesterday? Do you have that in the agenda or not really? Our scavenger hunt.
Start talking. I thought I had the pictures. Where the heck are they? Start talking.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yesterday we had a really beautiful, fun day. Angela Ritchie's Indianapolis meetup group and my group from Ohio, we met in Columbus, Ohio, because it was kind of halfway for both groups to do a scavenger hunt that I had, Angela and I had made up a list of 25 items. And we were meeting at this flea market in Columbus to go out and do the hunt. Well, when we got to the flea market, it was horrible. I mean, yes, we're so bummed. It was just a mess. And all new items, it's not the stuff that, I'm used to when I go to the Hartville flea market and Chris and Julie and all of those that, attend the Hartville one. So we were bummed about that. So we all got on our phones, started scouring the area. There's a Ohio Thrift is right next door, and there's Salvation Armies and Goodwills. There was a community garage sale area going on. So we kind of all scattered and said we meet back at Huli Huli Tiki Bar at 1:30. So we off we went. Everybody kind of did their own thing. So I didn't get as many pictures as I wanted to of people thrifting because we weren't together. So that was the bad part. But being together and having our lunch, and Mike Freed was our speaker, taught us all about baseball bats. Was wonderful. We had a wonderful time. Beautiful day of weather, comfortable as can be, and it was great. It was great to be together and with another group. We had a real good time, and then there was I think there was like 22 of us all together.
All right. Finally,
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, it's okay. Some of us came later and just joined us at Huli Huli, and some stayed for the thrifting only. So there's Mike. With his
this is before he beat someone to death for not participating.
Yeah. I tell you, Dad's bought bats, and now I've learned a lot. This is Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was the winner of our scavenger hunt. So we're giving him a little toast. And that's Annette Rostetter, and Annette and I both ended up at the same thrift store, the Goodwill. And so we're seeing what we can find. There wasn't a whole lot. This was still at the this is at the community garage sale. And who is that? Oh, that's Mike, I think. Is that Mike?
Yep.
Mike.
He's not hiding the fact that he's a reseller. He's just standing there checking out his phone. See?
Yep.
He's not hiding.
I still have trouble with that, but I do better. This is Pam Reed, and Pam's doing a little browsing herself. Oh, we had such a good time. If anybody else is
look at that cocktail.
That was Mommy's painkiller, wasn't it? That was yummy. Not as good as Mom's though. I have to say, I like the painkiller, but I still make a good one. And that was
you guys were all like, and break.
Yeah, this is getting ready. We're just all kind of waiting for everybody to show up. And you can see we had a nice sunny day, and everybody with their bags and their carts ready to shop at the flea market. Don't ever go to the Westland flea market. Anybody in the Columbus area, you will not want to go to that.
I'm throwing shade. All right. Well,
I know.
What'd you find?
Okay, so all right, so I'll show this first. I picked this up at the community garage sale. Oh, I better get myself on the bigger screen here so I can see what I'm showing you. Come on. There we go. Okay, cute little wooden purse. Got the chickens on it if you're into the chickens. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but I like this. This is what sold me on it because it's got the mirror and an inscription to somebody's friend and dated 1977. So, you know,
So
about
that's vintage, not retro.
yes, that's right. You had $3 on it. I got it for $2, and I'll probably list this for around $45 or so. Okay. All right. Then I stopped at an estate sale all by myself on the way to Hooly Hooly, and I found this. Anybody remember doing that kind of stuff?
I've never seen that before.
Never seen that one. Okay, well, this was $1, and this will probably go for around $25, Jason. I mean, and this was the estate sale was the woman's mother who passed at 92, and so I don't know if you can see the items that are in here, but it's still all sealed, with the straw. It's like straw. You make the straw items, nitwit. So yeah, for
who you calling a nitwit?
Hey, you nitwit. Okay, all right, because I got.
Hey, real quick, before you get on your next item, I just want to say Kimberly's watching us for the first time. Hi.
Oh, hey Kim, welcome. We're glad to have you.
She's happy to be learning some stuff. So yeah, hang around. We got all kinds of fun things to share and teach you.
So I was going through the estate sales, and they have these auctions, that are besides estate sales. There are actually auctions that you have to bid online. And I came across a couple of pictures of tiki mugs, and I said, maybe mommy needs to bid. So there was one bid that had started at $15. I said, well, I'm not going to put my bid in until, it's almost over. So when it was almost over, we kind of went back and forth. But there was a bunch of different items. These were the two smaller items, okay? But the thing that drew me in, you can see it's, Miss Piggy and Kermit. But the thing that drew me in were two of these.
Nice.
I know.
Because, Mr. Belly High Tiki mugs always go with Kermit and Miss Piggy.
I know. And there was even some round little sake jars or pudding jars. I'm not even sure what they are. I do want to show the bottoms on these so everybody is familiar with the website. Oh, that's right. Yep. The Valley High one.
Valley High from Shelter Island in San Diego.
Right. So I like I said, the bids had started out at 15, and we went back and forth a little bit at the end, but I got everything for $25. So I still felt comfortable with that because I think I can sell these, Jason, for around $45 a piece. Don't you think? I just saw a pair sell for $75, honey, a pair. So, we have our Tiki event coming up this Saturday at Tiki Underground. So I will be bringing those as well. The next thing, going back to that estate sale where the old lady lived, she also had this for sale for $1. This is a vintage. I have to have Dad do a little repair here, but it's a vintage handbag with the shells on it. Isn't that cute? That's an old timer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is an old time. Oh, I guess you still that. This was the lady's name. Look at the name, Jace.
Hey, Smith.
I know. Isn't that something? Okay, then at an estate sale that we were at. Okay, you guys, start looking out for these.
Cool.
Yeah, the metal coffee cans are starting to bring in some good money, and they had a bunch there, Jace. I might make them in groups of a couple. I don't know. I might do one big group. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it because I got the different sizes. But they're selling anywhere from, depending if they have the lid, not the lid, from anywhere from $15 to $25 on the metal coffee mug, coffee holders, coffee ground. Yeah. And so I know, good God, Maxwell House. So yeah, so be on the lookout for these guys. That's a good bolo. Want you to know about that. Okay.
All right, Debbie wants 40 more thumbs up. There's like 150 of you watching. We only got 40
come on, guys. I got good stuff, I'm sure.
For my mommy on Mother's Day, give us a thumbs up. Come on now.
So let me put that over there.
And, general applause to all the mothers out there.
Absolutely.
You put in a lot of work that a lot of times goes unappreciated. So although Mom had to pick me up from being arrested twice, I always appreciated her getting me.
The metal coffee cans were free. I happened to look down on the floor at this estate sale, and they were in a bunch of pile of boxes of junk. And I said, anything with those coffee cans? He said, you can just take them. So they didn't cost me a dime. So, that's nice. And this was in there, Jason. Now, I haven't seen a metal one. It's the Mauna Loa. Brittle. I know. So Mommy might just put that on her shelf. I don't know if I'll get rid of that one. Okay. All right. At this estate sale. You see that, Jace?
Yeah, that's cool. I've never seen that before.
I know. I'll show this one next. How's that?
Very nice.
And how's that? Are you drooling yet?
I have that one, but weirdly, it's green instead of yellow.
Oh, how about that?
So it's the same one, but a weird variant of color.
Yeah. Now, I am going to put the Showboat one up for sale. These were a quarter a piece. There's another quarter items, and they just had. Oh yeah, it had so many records to go through, Jason. Just tons and tons. And the Showboat one, probably I can get around $20 for this. So there's that. And okay, I did have. Where did I stick it? Okay, we won't go into that. Okay, pick these up. It was half price day at the estate sale. They normally had 50 cents a piece, so they ended up being a quarter piece. This is raffia ware, and I got.
Oh, nice.
I know, set of the 4 different colors. Look, Jace, isn't this nice? Yeah, so I did spend $1 for the 4, and I'm putting these up for $25. I like those.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then Dad picked this up. It was the only thing we had slim pickings on one day we went out.
Oh, nice!
But look, we got this is the smaller guy. This is the Nassau Royale decanter of I guess do you still call them Bobbies in Nassau?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do. And this is a miniature one, guys. This would probably sell around $30 to $40 if we were going to sell it. I think we might put this one up. Jason, do you have a big one, honey? I can't remember.
I do not have a big one. I have 3 or 4 smaller ones, and I've sold a bunch. I found 2 in Pittsburgh when we were filming Thrift Hunters.
Yeah, well, this one only cost us $1. What'd you sell yours for? Do you remember?
Like $40, I think, for the small one.
Yeah, the small ones have good money. We have 2 of the great big tall ones. I don't know, what are they, 12 inches or so.
Debbie remembers. I got one when we were in Minnesota. Yeah.
And one is a very, very early one, and we probably could get a few $100s out of that if we were to sell it. And one is the newer version, and you can definitely see the difference. And the alcohol content is totally different, more in the earlier version than the later version. Okay. Oh, you're going to love this, Jason. I'm going to show you the label first. It's by Aladdin. Okay.
Oh, wow. So it's a uniform from the casino.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but it's a brocade long vest, and the short vests we're getting $45. So
that's crazy.
Isn't this something? I know. I really, really like this. Everything I'm showing in the clothing cost me $1. They had long rack of clothing. Everything was $1 on the rack. This is going to be like $125. I'm going to put this up for everybody.
Dang.
Yeah, this is a beauty. Now, is this vintage or retro, everybody? Let's do that. Okay, and got that? You seen that label, Jay?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I had not seen that one. Definitely vintage. Yes, Hawaiian holiday, 100% rayon. The early ones were rayon. And it's just it's small size, but I couldn't pass it up for $1.
That's cool.
I'll probably get this. I don't know, $35, $40 maybe. Being a smaller size, it might be tougher to get rid of. Okay. I found 2 or 3 Pacific Legends, Jason, but they were all $1. So Mom can.
No, that doesn't say Pacific Legend. It says Paradise Found.
I mean, Paradise. That's what I meant. Paradise Found. They're all Paradise Found. So here's a purple one with pineapples. And these I'll probably sell, I don't know, $25, $30, somewhere in that vicinity. I'll make sure I get the Paradise Found ones. Yeah, this is a Paradise Found with the hibiscus on it. Good colors. And this, Jason, is no special label, but I love the print with the fish.
That's cool.
I just thought that, that's an extra large, but it's an older label. Look at the label on it, see?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've sold that brand before.
Have you? Oh, okay. That's good to know. Mommy did not know that. And then I did pick up, this was $2. Nicole Miller. A lot of us should know that name. And it was a woman that had some very nice clothing in her estate sale. This was $2, everybody. And it's a jacket with a fur collar. And I'll probably list this for around $45, Jason. This is a very nice one. Okay, now I need your expertise.
All right.
I didn't take time to look them up. They were 50 cents a piece, and I just started grabbing and threw them in my pile. So.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say country doesn't do so well in T-shirts, but the fact that it's from the crew, I like it.
Right. Well, that's what you're going to see. Everything I'm showing you right now is crew.
I
Does it say crew on the back? No, it says crew on the front. I'm sorry. So there's that.
So for those of you who don't go to a lot of concerts,
Yeah.
when a concert rolls into town, they do have a crew, obviously, but they need a lot more help on the load ins and load outs. So there's a local crew, and the local crew gets a t-shirt that says local crew. So when someone's kind of overseeing everybody, they know who the crew on the road is, they know who the local crew is. And some shirts are very awesome, some are kind of plain, but they're not shirts you could ever buy. So if you ever wanted to pretend you were Zach Brown crewed, then there you go.
Can you see that one?
Yeah, anything on the back?
No, this one does not.
So that's on the boring side. I found a Rihanna one once that was only her R. It just said R local crew, and I had to figure out what R that was. That's horribly boring. But there's a cool Ozzy Osbourne one going back to Ozzy that has a blueprint of the drum kit on the back.
Yeah, and there's Kenny Chesney. And he does have stuff on the back, which is nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, price wise, honey, what do you think on these? Because that's something Mom's never priced out before.
Oh, I would see if anyone else got them, but I would say they're around $20, $25 t-shirts.
Okay. All right. Then I had to pick this up. I don't know. Do you know anything about this?
Hold it up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah, so they must have been sponsored by Skinner must have been sponsored by Jim Beam. So
yeah,
I like it.
Okay. Yeah, and then he's got this in the back.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But all these t-shirts were 50 cents. So that's why Mom jumped on them. Okay. All right. Now let me see. Oh, your dad picked these up at a little flea market that we went to. You know what this is, Jace?
Yeah, ammunition
right.
box.
They were $1. He took all three, and these sell for around $20, $25. So, we will do that. Okay. All right, let me show this, Jason. I don't know if Mom's going to part with this yet. We walked in, and I went right over to it. I was surprised it was still there. It was on the wall. I haven't had a chance to really do any cleaning on it yet.
Ooh, cool.
Isn't that a great piece? I think I have a nice spot in my nautical section.
I think you need to ship that to Vegas.
It's string art, everybody. For those of you who are not
with a mirror.
String art. Yeah, cool. I mean, isn't that just great? And it's in beautiful condition. It was hanging on the wall. Maybe people weren't paying attention. Sometimes you don't focus in on things that are hanging on the wall. And this is a gorgeous piece. And
would you pay for that?
I paid $20. They had $40 on it, but it was half price day. So
awesome.
if I was to sell it, it'd probably be like around a $75 item somewhere.
Probably even a little more than that.
Maybe more.
I ain't seen that one before with a mirror in it. That's cool.
No, I know. Okay. Picked up a couple of really nice vintage suitcases. This is a Samsonite. Paid $2 for this, and this one will probably sell for around $25, $30. And the other one, oh, let me reach it. Come on. Similar, but this is who's this by? Dad picked this up. Airway. I don't really know Airway, but it was in nice condition. And the insides are real nice and clean too. So that was the reason. When I buy suitcases, I really make sure that the insides are nice because, you just don't want to buy them if they're really looking stained or messy or whatever. Now I got one large item left.
All right. I want to tell you, Cerise called you the thrift surfer mama in chief. I like it.
Thank you, Cerise. The last item I'm going to show you is a big one. So it's on the floor. I don't know why I keep buying these big things, but we do sell them. But we're getting, I've got local pickup on this for now, and we'll see what happens. But we did pick this up, and it was such a good price. Can you see my little Tykes toy box? Oops, let me get my
nice.
Yeah. And these sell well, guys. I paid $5 for it, and we're hoping to turn that into around $50, $55, and on that. But I'll keep you posted on the pickup. Sometimes I know that deters it, and if someone should ask me, will I ship it? Yeah, if they want to pay the price, absolutely. So I think that might be it. Kind of ran through it quickly, but I think we got it. But yeah, one thing I want to mention. Again, if you are in the Cleveland area, we do have our flea market at Tiki Underground this Saturday. Starts at noon.
Oh, let me show the graphic you sent me.
Okay. And they have.
You didn't send me one.
Didn't I on that one? Oh shoot! Sorry. They
you gotta get the drifting board too. Let people know if they're around.
I will. All right. I'll post it. I'll copy and paste.
Come have a cocktail and shop with Mom and Dad next week.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns will be there, and They have bands. They have great bands that play all day long, throughout the event, and a lot of great vendors. One that Jason knows real well is Kimmy Bang, who comes in from Chicago. Is it Chicago?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Stacey was just like, Kim Banks gonna be there. I'm like, yeah, she comes in quite often.
Yeah, she does. And our weather right now looks partly sunny, 73. So it could be a perfect day. Yeah, we had a lot of rain the beginning of the week, but the weekend is looking quite nice. So if you're out and around our area, come visit us. It's in Hudson, Ohio, actually, is the mailing. So that, I think, is
it,
my friends. Yeah, I think I did. Phew, we made it.
Every once in a blue moon, we end the show, and then you go, oh shit, this is still here.
Oh, I know. And then every now and then I'll find something. Oh, I forgot to show that. Well, yeah. All right. Well, well,
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you watch after the fact, love you guys too. Give us a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed before, click the subscribe button down there and click on the bell. When the bell, when you click on the bell, it lets you know when I'm going live. And I also upload other videos. I've been doing some tiki mug unboxing videos and all kinds of other fun little stuff. So check it out. We will be off next week from both shows. I'm actually giving a speech at a tiki convention next Thursday in Palm Springs. Haven't written it yet, so I should probably get that done. I started last night. And then over the weekend, we have a festival to go to. So all shows will return the following week. And so this week, you got time to go thrifting on Thursday night and Sunday.
Well, Mommy will be getting ready for the flea market, so I'm going to have to do my thrifting the following week. Plus, my birthday is next Sunday, so Mommy will be playing. Oh,
and hopefully,
what?
Your gift will get there before your birthday because I didn't get there in time for Mother's Day. It's coming.
Oh well, I should get another gift. One for Mother's Day, one for my birthday.
Well, you'll see.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
But I will be using this won't ruin anything, but I will be using Mom's gift on the next Thrifty Business as a what to do when it comes to shipping.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then Mom can just show it. We'll have a picture of Mom holding it. So there you go.
Oh, okay. So in other words, don't open it when it gets here?
No, you can open it. Because silly me forgot to take a picture of it before I did what I did to it to ship it. I get all done. I'm like, I didn't take a picture of it. Dang. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your Mother's Day to both mothers of humans and mothers of fur babies, because you love your fur babies like we do just as much as real kids. And they never get arrested.
Well, I'm still here, so I guess I made it.
Yes, you did. So, Ma, thank you for giving birth to me. Thank you for picking me up from being arrested. Thank you for co-hosting the show with me. Thanks for everything you do for me.
Well, thank you for giving Mom such a great opportunity at this stage of my life to have so much fun with everybody. I really enjoy doing the show with you and helping other people, sell better. And it's just been a joy for Mom. So I really do look forward to it. Even though it's a lot of work, putting a show together, I've learned that. Oh, yeah.
I think people think it could just all these little screenshots show up. No, it's a lot of work. Yeah, but it is fun. It's fun. And it's fun when I can tell the light bulbs are going off over people's heads. I can see it when I teach a class, but I also can feel it in the chat when people are like, oh, yeah. And,
let's just throw this out to everybody that's watching. If there's some topics out there that you would like us to cover, please let us know. I think we kind of need to do that, because maybe there's something out there we haven't touched on, and please let us know, everybody, if you've got something we would like to do, bring up for you. We'd be glad to do it.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. For selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50, I'm Jay.
I'm Peg. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
See ya.